A European Union that operates globally needs strategic goals that can be implemented. This gives internal clarity and makes the EU a credible external partner. Clarity about your own goals is the most important prerequisite for being able to react and act. The strategic compass gives the direction for future action in the EU, for example with the new basic security policy document. The EU member states have different strategic cultures, and priorities and perspectives also vary from country to country. That is exactly the strength of the EU and allows it to have a 360-degree view of the world. At the same time, the strategic compass as a new basic security policy document should be supported by broad political unity and a firm political will to act. It is therefore particularly important to identify those threats and challenges that affect all Europeans and to identify goals for which all Europeans are committed. The overriding priorities have already been formulated in the EU global strategy. In the next step, the EU member states want to become more specific and decide together what the EU should be able to do in crisis management, in training partners, and in protecting the Union and its citizens, but also what not. Agreement on these core aspects will sustainably strengthen the EU's ability to act. That is why one of the central goals of the German Council presidency is to advance the development of a strategic compass. In the event of a security crisis, action can then be taken more quickly. In addition, these strategic guidelines can be used to specifically derive which instruments and capabilities the EU needs. Threat analysis as the basis for a strategic compass is the first thing to do. First, a joint threat analysis is to be created. This has never happened before in the EU context. It was agreed that the EU foreign representative would present this analysis by the end of 2020. The EU member states provide input but do not vote on the final document. On the basis of the threat analysis, the member states will then enter into a structural strategic dialogue and discuss the objectives. This is done on four main themes: crisis management, resilience, skills and partnerships, and with this specification, it can in turn be determined which skills are necessary and which priorities should be pursued jointly. The impact of the corona crisis in particular underscores the essential importance of solidarity and the ability to act together in the EU. The impressions and lessons of the pandemic will also be reflected in the strategic compass. It is already clear that further steps must be taken on the way to better cooperation in the area of security and defense. The strategic compass is intended to determine the direction for these steps. The Ministry of Defense, together with the Federal Foreign Office, is responsible for strengthening and developing the common security and defense policy. In addition to the numerous operations and missions of the EU, many important processes will be ongoing in 2020 that will be driven forward by the Ministry during the Council presidency. Examples of this are the strategic review of permanent structured cooperation or the conclusion of the European Defence Fund. The federal government and its departments have formulated the national, presidential and trio programs. The Ministry of Defence has set ambitious goals of its own, which are reflected in the program. All ministries will organize numerous events in the second half of 2020 in order to implement these programs and to support them in terms of content. And you can see a button right here with which you can subscribe to my channel, and I would really appreciate if you do so. And if you now want to know more about European or global politics, YouTube has chosen another of my videos right here for you in the end screen. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy. Viel Spaß!